Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Long Voyage. We have had a temporary break, obviously, while yours truly was off to the the lovely, lovely country of Ireland, or as we know it in this game, Tearglass.
Yes, we missed the Long Voyage because the GM was taking her own long voyage.
Indeed, indeed. No, it was great fun. I got to see a lot of nice things, and for those of you who are listening to this who were also followers of A Song Atara, I can tell you that there will at some point in the hopefully not too distant future, but at least at some point, be a small bonus video on A Song Atara, because I went to some, not all, but some of the places in Dublin city centre where some of the events played out from that campaign. I did some short recordings, a few minutes here, a few minutes there. And we're going to see if we can't edit those things together and upload them as a sort of a bonus thing where you can actually see some real live, well, not live, but real footage recorded from not bird's eye perspective or Google Maps or whatever, but from ground perspective and what it looks like when you walk those particular streets. So, you know, I can't say exactly when it's coming up, but it is going to be posted at some point, provided we can figure out the technical issues of editing the whole thing together. But on that note, let's get back to the Long Voyage, which is obviously, that is obviously the game which is now running, and we do need a recap because obviously it's been 2 weeks, and yes, therefore, Chris, please do enlighten us. What happened 2 weeks ago?
I can enlighten you much. I can maybe darken you a little bit. To point another thing to point out before you. My recollection of this is a bit patchy, seeing as it's been a little while since we last played due to this. Also, for the last week or so, I and my family have moved house. Where we are currently still has no form of internet or even landline phones at the moment. So any and all access to the internet to watch the videos we've done of the sessions we've done to recap has been impossible.
Fair enough, but I'm sure you remember a little bit.
Yes, of course. It was so pushy.
Yes.
The things we put up with for you, dear listeners. Anyway. What happened last time? We were still in CharismaToAC, the capital of Tearglass, and we decided to do some shopping, among other things. Some more shopping, anyway. And we got looking at buying upgrades to gear. I believe that we started putting in orders for new weapons and ammunition.
Yes.
I remember correctly, Ulva decided she wanted to go into the fine art of archery.
Yes, she did.
Yes.
And I remembered to use XP.
Not unlike the GM, of course. Ha 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 ha.
Yes, the another thing that happened in Ireland, which I'm sure you don't mind mentioning, is that the GM has decided to purchase a longbow, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, indeed. I shall start archery. Anyway, yes. Sorry.
This wasn't the main thing that happened. The main thing that happened was that when some people made their way back to the inn that we're staying at, they were accosted by a group of armed guards who insisted that they, rather firmly, that they had an appointment at the Rees castle, and they were taken there along with the proprietor of the inn, who they gave some dirty looks to because they were thinking he could do some translation if necessary. Basically, what happened was we were taken up there to meet with a representative of the RE who wanted to see if we were available to do some kind of tasks on his behalf. But we gave the impression, in order to keep up our cover, that the way we were pretending that we were soldiers under Liam's banners, basically meant that we were not available for work because the RE wanted someone who didn't have any affiliation with that particular sword, or maybe with any sword. And so we understood that there was a situation. We understood that they may have wanted someone, that we weren't necessarily available, but we did at least know where to go if we did. This was something that most everyone who went along to the event agreed was a good idea. Sindri didn't go along, and we, in an uncharacteristic show of lack of sort of subtlety, decided that it was entirely not a good idea that they said no to doing something for the Ree. This has more to do with the fact that Sindri simply cannot stand having to lie about the fact that he's serving Liam and therefore in the same ballpark as the Phalans who are currently serving here, among other things. But yes, basically, I believe that was almost where we left off.
Well,
where we would.
You had a conversation when you were there with this man.
Yes, with the brother.
Yes.
We only learned that he was the brother of the Ari after the fact.
Yes, but you had a rather civil conversation with him, as I recall, and then you went back to the wounded stag.
Yes.
Yes.
And then that was where the argument over whether or not it was a good idea to take work or not happened.
Indeed.
I think there was something afterwards, but I can't for the life of me remember what it was.
That was pretty much it, I believe. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
So you do. You start the events of today, located in the Wounded Stag, and I see, by the way, that we have Baggy's player has joined us. So excellent. We are almost all here. Yeah. What do you want to do?
So, is this the next day or the same?
It's the same day. We start immediately after we left off, which is,
Okay.
the guards have just left, and Aina is quite shaken, but yes, cooking and trying to do something with the quality food that he's managed to get a hold of for you guys, and yeah. Apart from you, the place is deserted. There's nobody there.
And we have finished arguing, I take it.
That's up to you.
Was a resolution reached? Have we decided? Has basically what I'm asking is, has everyone else in the group said, Sindri, we're not going to talk to the Ari and that's final or not?
Well, I can at least tell you that I'm confident Fordy would have no problem telling him, no, you're being an idiot. But, I mean, that's just me.
I think Sindri will probably say something along the lines of black or something.
That's the pot. What? Sorry, you broke up.
That's the pot calling the kettle black.
At least I'm the smarter idiot then.
Oh, joy of joys, that you must lord it over as the dumbest smart person in the world.
I think Ilva is just looking from one to the other. They do this quite a lot.
Yeah, now that you mention it.
Yeah.
She's just making sure they don't end up killing each other.
Yes.
Still, mission first. We can always... I mean, we have already earned a lot.
Sorry, you're very, very distant, Chris.
Christ almighty, okay. Let me see if I can...
That's better.
Yes, I have to like an actor again on a stage. I can't whisper anymore for some reason.
No.
Joys of...
Oh, you need to speak up, or it won't catch you.
Yeah. All right.
So what say you, Christopher?
If everyone else here thinks that what we've got, our current plan is fine, then all right, I shan't go against that. I don't like it. I don't like having to live under this falsehood longer than we have.
Well, someone did ask if there was a way of getting a message to him directly. So just because we're officially Phalans doesn't mean he can't know that we're actually not able to help him.
Well, perhaps we should do a show of hands then. Those who would prefer to keep our cover tight should, well, come stand with me, and those who prefer the risk and want more silver than we've already gotten should go stand with Sindri.
Aina actually puts down what he's doing and walks over to stand next to Sindri.
No.
Sindri pats the man on the shoulder with an approving look that is lost in his ugly features.
He shrugs and says, "I'm already involved."
Ilva stands up and goes to Sindri's side. Sorry, but I really don't like the Phalans.
Well, neither do
And
I.
if I can help Liam win this way, it's worth it.
You mean Karatok?
Sorry, Karatok. It's other swords. I don't really care what they're named, as long as
They have
it's the right
strange
one.
names.
Seriously, if that's the one Raven Lady wants to fight, then that's the one she gets to fight.
Well, Thrody looks, of course, to his uncle and to Gilfy, who is still not here.
Yeah, Gilfy's still a no-show.
Maybe he prefers to remain neutral.
Yeah, we can hope he turns up as the game continues.
Right, then what does Vagi do?
Well, so I really, as a player, I don't really remember what this is all about. So, as I think Baggy will stand with whomever guarantees more silver.
That's Sindri.
That's Sindri.
Definitely.
Then he goes to stand with Siri. I think he does so with this "I'm sorry" kind of expression on his face.
I think Thrody smiles widely and says, "Well, at least I tried to be reasonable. I can't deny that I'm curious as well."
Exactly.
This isn't going to be like our Star Wars game, is it, where your character spends the next 3 days sulking in his bedroom?
Oh, no, this
No.
is the thing. Thrody wanted to go as well because he wanted to figure out what it was, but he also knew that, mission first, so he had to suggest that. Now that everyone disagrees with him, he's very happy to come along.
Also, strictly speaking, his bedroom has burnt down,
Also that.
so he
Now
can't
shares
even
a
go there
bedroom
to
with the
sulk.
rest of you.
Yeah. And sulking alone in there won't really work.
Also, he's not really the sulking type.
No, he's more the sarcastic one.
I think that's most of my characters. I think it's because I play them.
It's because you're a sarcasm man, sir.
It should be mentioned that there's quite a bit of echo going on.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a bit. Probably not much we can do about it today, though, because as we had serious sound problems again starting this. I only managed to get the recording software to actually, catch everyone else's input literally 30 seconds or so before we started recording.
Yeah.
Because for
things
whatever
are that
reason, it decides to switch everything off from time to time. Anyway, it seems like you've decided that perhaps you might want to help the RE, or at least the RE's brother, on the RE's behalf.
To do this, Ilva actually takes her clan's cape, but she packs it away so it can't be seen readily by everyone.
Yes.
So they kind of have this is actually our cape.
Yes.
All right. How do we go about this then?
Well, didn't you... Well,
I
as far
don't
as I
imagine-
understood on Gilfy, we could talk with the man we talked to before, and he would bring a message to Mr... I've forgotten his name again. The big
Yeah.
wig. The big
Yes.
one.
The thing is, we have, lied to his face, and while I agree that we should totally do this, maybe admitting everything and telling the entire truth is not in our best interest. We could just make up an excuse.
That we don't want to be murdered because we're not with the Phalans?
That's too close to the truth. He has no
Well-
reason for him to know that. I mean,
How would you frame it? You seem to have.
I'm just saying there's no need to go telling the man our entire life story or even why we're here. We are still trying to stay hidden. That being said, we can always accept work.
Yes.
Well, wouldn't saying that the reason we didn't tell him outright was because we had already said we were with the Phalans?
I don't understand your question.
We gotta kinda tell him why we said we were with the Phalans when we were not then.
Well,
Well,
to be
we don't have to tell him we're not.
I don't believe, from what
You're falling in and out again, Chris.
I remember from what you told me when you go back. You didn't
Nope.
say you were with the Phalans. You said you were with the Long Razors to the map.
Oh, right.
We did.
Either way, we were. The reason
The
that you wouldn't.
problem was that we and they are in line with Liam.
Yes.
So we kinda need to tell him why we want to work against him then.
We have no real loyalty to Liam outside of money. We could have simply told him that our captain said it was all right for us to have a little work on the side.
If you wanna angle it that way.
Well, I'm just saying that, hi, we are in fact not long racers. We lied to your face, and this is our life story. Is not the best approach when we're still trying
I'm
to
not
lay
gonna
low.
tell him the life story. I mean, this is in the middle of Liam's fucking area,
Exactly.
right?
And
So
while
telling that we are actually on his side would be the easiest way to go through scot-free.
Yes, and what
So
I'm
telling
thinking
him that
is
that was a
that-
lie to go through scot-free because we figured Liam's area would make it easier for us and
Well-
get it out of it.
Well, we still don't actually have concrete proof that this Ari guy does not like Liam. We just know that he doesn't want Liam to get mad at him.
Yeah.
He could still be in line with Liam, and when he finds out that we are not, he could see that as a chance to get in Liam's good graces. However, if we still tell him we are with the Long Racers, he has no need to do anything like that.
And he has no need to do anything like that either if he doesn't know we work for Karatok.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's no need to change our story.
You don't get it. Are you that daft?
No, I think you're bad at explaining.
Probably. The reason he didn't want to give us work was because we were working for Liam.
Yes, I realize
Yes.
that.
So if we still work for Liam, then he's not giving us the work.
Not
You
necessarily.
with me that far?
That depends on how we angle it.
So you want to lie even more? And then get lost in the lie in the end.
Oh no, I don't get lost in my lies.
I like the man's confidence.
What I'm saying, Ylva, is that keeping the story that we are with the Long Razors provides us with some safety that admitting that we're not would not. And that we could probably come up with a reason why, well, I mean, the Ari probably knows already that we are not particularly loyal even when we work for people. We could say, as I suggested, that we have gotten the okay from our captain, the guy we actually answer to.
So what will you do if the reason he doesn't want to give us work is not because that it's something else, it's because he wants to work against Liam?
Well, then tell him we're okay with that. That our captain has okayed it.
Silva shakes her head. there was a reason she let the others lie. She hates it.
But, I mean, if the rest of you have anything to add, he looked to Baggy. After all, I'm pretty certain you, Uncle, are going to be the one doing the actual lying.
Yes, I imagine so. Well, I think, for what it's worth, that Frody's plan is as good as any. It still provides, well, I think you said the word safety net.
Something along those lines.
Yes. And us moonlighting wouldn't be, I don't think, against their perception of Southlanders anyway, because we are often hired as mercenaries, and mercenaries are in it for the money. So I think I like Frody's approach to this.
Yes, well, as long as it gets us to the position that we can work with him.
You're fading out again, Chris.
I'm trying to speak as loud as I can. I promise you.
I know. It's just I'm not sure it can be helped.
It's probably a connection thing.
Yeah, probably is.
Probably. I don't know. The sooner I get fiber optic at the new place, the better.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep.
Basically, yeah. Sindri just shrugs and says that he'll go along with it if it means we get to the position where we can actually work.
I think you could be quite helpful. Just stand around and look greedy.
Sindri stands there and looks not greedy, but put out.
I suppose that works as well.
Would it be to anyone's benefit if it was myself and Buggy who went up by ourselves, or shall we all go? I mean, some of us might want to tour around the city and check up on our other commitments.
That is a good idea. We should, however, bring enough that we can get out again, should we need to.
Aina looks at you all and says, "Big and strong and powerful as you may be," he says, "believe me, if they don't want you to get out of there, you'd have to fight your way through about 200 men and probably an Arsari or two. I'd say just, be nice to the man."
Of course. And I was about to ask if they had any of their ROCs around.
Well, possibly. They are... There's often at least one or two at court. They have interests there as well.
And they are formidable combatants, I assume.
Well, combatants, depending on what you mean by combatants, they rarely get involved, as far as I know, they rarely get involved in, fisticuffs and swinging swords around. They don't have to.
No, I meant magically.
Yes, definitely.
Then I don't think bringing me along would provide any kind of safety.
Heine wants you to run down what he's supposed to lie
sure.
about.
I'll write out a thing so it's easy to remember.
Cool. Cool.
Yes. So
anyway,
Yep. Go on, please.
Sindri gets he shuffles. I think it's getting late. I want to turn in for the night.
Sounds like a proper plan.
He heads out back to the room. I got it right this time. I didn't say upstairs.
Yes.
Yay!
I'm learning. I'm capable of learning things.
Fist bump.
Indeed you are. Fist bump indeed.
So proud.
So, you are no longer directionally challenged.
For now.
So you go to bed, or at least Sindri goes to bed. Anybody else? Well, again, right now, Aina goes back and goes back to cooking because some of you might
Yes.
still want some dinner before you go to bed.
Absolutely.
And yeah,
I mean, Sindri was just tired after being
yeah.
peasant card.
But it's a completely quiet evening. There isn't a single guest in the entire throughout the entire evening. Nobody else apart from you, and you are treated to an excellent meal. He's definitely made an effort here because, well, again, he can more easily do so when there are only a few people he needs to cater to.
We like that. Ilva still grumbles.
Yeah.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Yeah. Rumpelstiltskin.
Well, I think eventually Thrody comes over with a mug of something ale, probably.
Yeah.
You look sour, Ilva.
First off, I just have to comment on the last thing you wrote.
Yeah.
We could do so discreetly without Liam finding out. What happened last place?
I mean, we did so discreetly 90% of it. It was merely that the dice were against me.
Right. Because we didn't burn an entire city down. Okay, that was
after
partly the
jig was
plan.
up.
That was
Partly
the plan, but I'm pretty sure he found out.
Well, we
Not
don't
who
know
did
what,
it, but I'm pretty sure he'll find out that it's burnt down.
Yeah, but we don't know what the RE wants us to do, and that
is
we
true.
can probably do discreetly. But no,
Yeah.
Thrody sits down next to Ilva and comments that she looks sour.
Happens a lot. I've been with Sindri too long.
Ah, well, you should stay with me then. I tend to smile.
Nah. It's also obvious to you that's not the case.
I know you don't like lying, but you don't have to. We'll get Uncle Baggy to do it.
I'm still a part of it.
I love that pragmatism, by the way. You're not the one doing the lying, you're just standing there and letting him do it because, he's the one who's actually saying it.
Well, she just gives him a long, tired look. Yeah. I might be, but I'm still a part of the lie.
Yeah. If you want to know the truth, I don't think truth will get you very far in this world, Ilva.
Maybe not. But it doesn't mean I have to like it.
No, as long as you do what you gotta do. But I have no doubt you will. You are Battle Maiden.
I wish Gylfi could see it the same way. You don't have to like it. You just have to do what you're supposed to.
Well, you could teach him.
Trying. But either he's thick or, well, I don't know.
I'm guessing you're not teaching him the same way you were taught.
No, that was kind of tough. Coming home one
Exactly.
day and then the entire family is gone.
How did they teach you in Battle Maiden training?
Look! Slum!
Exactly. Just slam his head into things until the dumb ideas fall out.
That was not the point. The point was look in the other direction and then you have to dodge, otherwise you get hurt.
Well,
But I'm not sure he'll survive that.
not if it's you doing it.
Exactly.
Well, I'm just saying, I think he could need a little tough love. It's
Probably.
a tough world. You have to be tough.
I think he understood some of it last we talked. Let's just
I
see
hope
how
so.
it turns out. I mean, he did well enough with the bastards in the room.
Yes, he has done well when he has to.
Exactly.
It's just the
So
constant
far,
whining
it's
afterwards.
just yeah.
No, don't kill the old man who tried to kill us.
You're still
No.
hung up on that.
No, it's just
People
the best
say I
example.
hold a grudge.
No, it's just the best example.
Yeah, well, he was pretty sure that what we did were the reason the others died.
Yeah, that's probably not true.
Probably not, but he has chosen to see it that way. I think
Are you
it's...
sure you're
I don't know
opposed
why.
to banging his head into things?
We kinda need his noggin. Otherwise, we end up bleeding everywhere and not able to stop it.
Well, I mean, you could stop it with fire.
And then he'll never be able to see again because you melted his ears and face off.
Oh no, I meant the bleeding.
But if it's his face that's bleeding.
Well, it's not an easy situation, is it?
Let's just put it this way. I'm kinda happy I'm not having to teach little boys to grow up.
Well, for most
For some
life
reason, for one time, I'm actually, happy I chose to never have a family. Because I'm pretty sure I'd lose my patience
Sorty
pretty
looks
quickly.
somewhat offended.
What?
Nothing. It's just, you call yourself my sister and then you say you don't have a family.
Chose to have a family.
That's not what you said. But if
Huh?
that's what you meant, then
She looks lost. Apparently, either she didn't hear it herself, or she don't know what you're talking about. Because I'm rather lost. What
You
she's
said
talking
she
about
chose
is
to
taking
not have
a
a
vow
family.
to not have a family. She's not going to give birth to any children. That is what she's talking about.
That's not what he understood.
That's why she doesn't understand what the hell he's on about. Yes, I'm
so-
your sister.
So that's okay. So it's just an in-character misunderstanding there.
Yeah.
No
Also
problem.
out of character, I think.
Well,
She's talking about her vow to never, lay with a man and get children because she wouldn't know what the hell to do if her son turned out like Gylfi and were whiny about everything. Not that Gylfi isn't cute and all that, but
I feel
they
so
have
bad.
to grow up sometime.
I feel so bad for Brain when he comes, when he listens back to this episode.
yeah. Well, I think in that case, Thrody says, well, if you're my sister, then you do have a family.
Of course I do. What
So
are you talking
kind of
about?
chosen not to have a family because you have one.
I'm a battle maiden. I'm never gonna give birth. I chose to never have a family.
Oh, well, mother and children is not the only way to have a family.
No, but it's a way to make one.
That is true.
And I chose not to.
Yes, that is.
How quickly do you
sacrifice.
think my patience would run out if I ended up with a son like Gylfi? Not that he isn't sweet. I see him as my dear little brother and all that, but they have to grow up.
Well, your patience hasn't run out yet.
No, but he don't really have the time to drag it out much longer.
No. As I said earlier, had the situation been different, I think he would have benefited greatly from staying at home. But he cannot.
I think he would have been a very good healer at home. Someone you came back to, and if you had a scar from fighting, he could take a look at it or something if you got injured on a raid, but
I think
we
so.
kinda have to help him, don't we? It's either that or he'll end up dying somewhere.
Yes, that's why that's why I want to be tough on him. He smiles and says, "Well, I suppose in a way I should be happy then that we have him along." I do want a family after all.
Not with him, you won't.
No, but I mean practice. If, as you said, my son turns out to be a wimp.
Right.
Jesus Christ! If my son turns out to be a wimp, it's lovely. Very nice.
He's not as wimpy when it gets to it. It's just, it's his, I don't know, his naivete with how the world can be. He does know what to do when we're in a fight. He might not be happy about it, but he knows what to do to survive it. It's the naivete that you don't have to, be sure that he won't murder you outright. I don't want him to hesitate in the wrong place.
That's the funny thing about him. He's very good under pressure. But he's not very good when he's not under pressure.
He's just very young.
He's not that much younger than the rest of us.
Wasn't he like, this is out of character? I think he's 16?
Let's see if he has written it down in his... Yes, he's, a year younger than Ormer?
Ormer is 16.
Yeah, Ormer is 16, yeah.
What? He's a summer younger than Ormer?
Yeah.
I don't think age has anything to do with it.
No.
He is made of he's just a strange fellow.
The thing is, the way they trained me worked for me, but I know of battle maidens that were trained otherwise because that worked for them. The trick is finding a way that'll work for him.
Well, he's quite smart. Perhaps we should ask him.
Yeah. He's also teaching me how to use a bow.
Oh,
or was
how
that
good
you?
are at that? Oh, no, I'm horrible.
Was that Sindri that taught her to use a bow?
You think so?
Well, it's right. He's teaching me to glass. Sindri's teaching me how to use a bow.
Yes.
That was very distant. I think you said something about that sounds about right. Was that correct, Chris?
Also sounds about right.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry, it's been a little while. I have to remember all again.
Yes.
Same for all of us. Don't worry.
All right.
Well, all I can teach you is how to play taffel and fling fireballs, but I don't think you have the aptitude for the latter.
Give me something with fire on it and I can fling it.
Well, I suppose you could wrap your hammer in cloth and we could light it on fire as you go into the battlefield.
Though it would look very cool, I'd probably end up setting myself on fire.
Yes, you would. Yes, you really would.
She looks at him. I am a little sad that you're that agreeing with me.
Yeah.
Well, I have lived with you.
There's truth to that.
Remember when you managed to spill an entire bucket of milk over Mother?
You were not happy. Good thing I'm good at running.
Yes. How is that? Why are you so clumsy?
I don't know.
You're not
Things
clumsy
spring
in a
out of
fight.
me.
I mean, you're not the image of grace and finesse in a fight, but you're also not clumsy.
I don't know.
He shrugs and pulls out his taffel board. You feel like playing?
She looks at it and looks at him. Nah, I'm not in the mood to lose this time.
How about tossing pigs then?
Sure.
Then he brings out that.
And I suppose you spend the rest of the evening playing games and nibbling on food and so on?
I think, unless Ilva objects, Thrody will spend some of the evening reminiscing about how it was when they, lived at home and everything was nice. Sort of like, remember when you spilled an entire bucket of milk?
Yeah. Basically, going down memory lane.
Remember when you tried to throw your first fireball? You ended up setting fire to the entire house. Someone should have told you not to do it behind the house.
Yes. But yeah, I think, that's a good way to spend an evening. And now we cut to Gylfi having stood just around the corner, listening to everything.
Gylfi? He
Nah,
ain't here.
he's not here.
Yeah,
I think at some point during the evening, Baggy will leave the establishment, and I'll write up a whisper for you, John, just so
Yeah,
you
of
know
course,
where
of
he's
course.
going.
Yes.
So, yep, it's not something we need to roleplay, but
No,
yeah.
just so I know. Yes.
Yep.
Much thanks. Let's see what that is, because other than that, we will fast forward to the next day. But providing there may be something we need to do, depending on what it is.
Moo.
Blue moon.
I'm a cow, can't you see?
I don't know that song.
Look it up. Seriously, look it up. And especially look it up and watch the cartoon that was drawn with it. It's so wrong.
Yes.
It's so wrong.
But in all the right ways.
Yes.
I'm a cow, can't you see?
I think it's just called the I'm a Cow song. Let me see if I can't dig it up.
I'll take a look at it after we play. After we're done. It's cool.
Yes, I have it here, and we shall. Just give me a moment. I'll provide a link, because
The link.
This is hilarious, and people should watch it.
It shall be done.
Yes. Okay, Heine, not a problem. That is easily done in the city. So yeah, sure.
Cool.
Did he need to find a brothel?
Even if he did, I don't think we'd be told.
What is this thing we're looking at?
It is a video. It is a very wrong video. Watch it afterwards or in the break or something. It gets wronger and wronger as you keep watching it, and I know that's not a word, but it is now. Damn it!
Cool. I'll watch
So
it.
it is so horribly wrong. Anyway, cool. Yes, and for for the listener, yes, if you look up the I'm a Cow song, there are a few options. I'm sure you can figure out which one is the wrong one just from the thumbnails. Anyway, you guys are you guys get some rest as the night gets late and so on. You crash and get some rest. And when you get up,
my eyes.
Yes, when you get up the next morning, seriously, when you watch it, make sure you can listen to the music as well. It's and the lyrics are hilarious. Anyway, so next morning when you get up, there's porridge, cheese, bread, normal breakfast things, and there's a stranger in the common room. He is not hiding in any kind of way. He is sitting right in the middle of of the room, in around or by there are several, as I believe I described it for you guys last time. There are several long tables in here and a couple of smaller round ones, more out along the walls. He's sitting by one of the long tables, but he's sitting dab smack in the middle, and he is facing the door that you guys are coming in from the sleeping area out in the back building. And he smiles when you enter. He's an older man. He's got a white beard. He's got grayish gray hair. He's carrying a staff, that he's. You can't see this because he's seated, but it's lying on the table next to him. So presumably he's using this to support himself on. He is getting on in years. His clothes are very, very, very nice quality. He's wearing a couple of actually several quite heavy silver bracelets, and he's wearing rings on every finger. Heavy looking rings as well. Some of them have stones set in them, some don't. He smiles when you enter. He looks friendly.
Baggy just nods to him as he goes to sit where he goes to sit. Somewhat absent-minded.
Good morning, he says. He uses new form to speak to you. So.
Good morning.
Am I correct in assuming that you are the Southlanders who yesterday were invited to the Ari's palace? I'm sorry I wasn't there at the time to see for myself, but just general interest.
Who's asking?
Oh, my name is Lorcan, and whether you will believe me or not, I can't say, but I'm a friend.
Well, friend,
at least I can be. Obviously, again, you decide, but I intend to be a friend. Well, you bring me here since you ask, seeing as this is where I figured out you'd be. There was a very friendly fish telling me I could find you here.
That is a friendly fish.
It's a very friendly fish. Right before I ate it, anyway.
As you do.
Yes. What would you have for breakfast? I'll pick up the tab. All of you, by the way, all of you. I'm here to talk to you. I think the least I can do is to make sure that pay for the breakfast.
So Baggy then looks at the others and says, "So this fellow apparently is buying us breakfast."
Oh, why?
He hasn't quite told me yet. I'm going to assume at least that he means to hire us for something. He asked if we were present in the palace the day before this one.
Huh. Well, ask him.
I think at this point, the last little Southlander comes in, looks like a thundercloud that's worse than Sindri as she sits down.
Oh dear, she looks very angry.
She hasn't had a chance to kill anyone yet.
Well, I might be able to help her.
I'm all ears.
Well, you see, I'm privy to some of the information that goes on in the palace. Actually, I'm privy to most of it, if I want it. And I understand that you were approached by His Lordship, the brother of our most illustrious and well-meaning RE yesterday, on some sort of business, and he ended up saying no thank you despite having sent for you in the first place, because apparently, from this is merely rumors, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently because you were supposedly working for Liam and he doesn't want to piss off the big red-headed idiot.
Right, and you're going to offer the job to us anyway, am I correct?
Yes. You are absolutely correct, because I, in fact, have no problem pissing off the big red-headed idiot. In fact, I should take a great deal of personal pleasure from doing so.
Well, let's hear it then.
See, here's the thing. Liam is a powerful man. Even for a sword, he's a powerful man. He is a strong warrior. even by swords standards. And he's very charismatic. He makes people want to follow him. Now, before you think that that's something a lot of leaders do, let me be clear here. All swords have special abilities of whatever kind. Now, I don't. Oh, and by the way, since you ask, Ilva, in writing your feckin' breakfast is, he's simply paying for it, but it is being brought over.
Yeah, she might not see before she's almost, oh, it's right there. Never mind then.
Right. Yeah, anyway, so he says the point here is, he says that they all have these gifts, if you would, things that they can do that even other swords can't. I don't know what your sword can do. I'm not even sure who your sword exactly is, and it's no business of mine. Don't need to know. So there you go. The point is, they all have these, and in his case, his ability, quite apart from his strong arms and his fighting ability and so on, his primary ability is the fact that people tend to slowly fall under his sway. The weaker their minds, the more easily they do. So he turns up and smiles his great big happy smile and tells everybody that, yes, we are going to war, and all you have to do is send me all your husbands and sons and brothers and uncles and whatnot, and I will send you back a third of them, and isn't it glorious? And everybody will go, no, it's not. And then the next day they'll go, that idea he said sounded not so bad after all. And the day after that, they'll be throwing feckin' babies at him.
Alright, I'm with you so far.
I don't like the man. He's selfish. He doesn't give a damn about how many people he gets killed as long as he has a glorious fight out of it. And I want him to be as far away from CharismaToAC as I can feckin' possibly get him. So does the RE, but the RE is in, let's call it, a less free position to say so. That's why I'm here. So, would you be interested in taking a job which would help us get Liam to piss the feck off?
Who's
One
Liam
moment.
pissing on?
Baggy turns toward his fellow Southlanders and says, Lorcan here is presenting us with an opportunity to piss off Liam.
Well, that sounds great already.
And basically, he's offering what the RE wouldn't offer.
Oh.
So this guy is not scared of Liam hating him.
No.
I
Surprise.
understood some of it. Ilva does have broken tear glass, so
Yeah,
she
yeah.
understood some of it, but she understood that he's pissing on someone.
So basically, while the king of this place has his hands tied, so
Indeed.
to speak,
Yes.
can't interact with us for various obvious reasons.
I
This
imagine
fellow,
if whatever
Lorcan,
he's...
is more free to do so.
Well, that spares us some trouble, I guess, if the job came to us.
Yes. I take it then that we'll hear him out. At least that's the least we can do. After all, he did pay for our breakfast.
Of course.
He did?
He did.
Oh, okay.
Kind of-
So,
The day is shaping up as a good day.
indeed.
Well, he says, and sits up straight when you look back at him. What's your decision? Will you hear my offer?
Yes, we will.
I'm glad to hear it. You see, he says, we are closer to the east coast of Tirglass than to any of the other coastlines. We're also slightly more than halfway south if you go from north to south in Tirglass, we're slightly below halfway. And that means, of course, that this is not a terribly centrally placed city. It's just the biggest one. Liam's base of power is, well, right now it's quite far north. It's up on the other side of the mountains. And, well, I happen to know that something happened in those mountains. I don't know what it is, but I know that he's sending some of his troops there to investigate something. And my point is, right now he thinks that any attack he's going to suffer is going to come from down south. I think you have an excellent opportunity, being Southlanders, and therefore usually, at the very least, equipped with very good and fast ships. You'd have an opportunity to sail up north while his entire attention is down here, go ashore, and wreak some merry havoc in his hinterlands. I don't care how many you kill. I don't care what happens to the riches you might find. What I care about is that enough destruction is wrought that Liam has no choice but to take his feckin' army and go away.
Now, I would be a poor representative for my captain if I didn't at least ask, how much silver are you willing to pay for this?
Well, quite apart, of course, from the fact that I have no interest in the loot that you might find there, therefore you can keep what you find. Mm-hmm. I would be willing to pay you something worth a lot more than simply silver.
As fine as that sounds, I think we're going to need a bit more to go on.
Of course, he says, and takes off one ring from each hand, placing them on the table. These, he said, believe me, they're worth more than all the silver you've ever seen. They're magic.
I so want to be able to understand what he's saying right now.
No, don't worry. Baggy lifts an eyebrow and then turns his gaze toward Frothy, smiling broadly.
Well, Frothy smiles back. What is it?
So this fine gentleman, Master Lorcan, tells me that we're discussing payment for the job he's offering us. And he tells me that the 2 rings on the table he just placed there are magic.
I'll just go, why? They are magic.
That's what he says.
He has magical items.
Apparently so. And he's offering to pay us with these rings.
Oh, if only I could speak with him. Does he know what was the guy, the other Arisari who had the speaking spell?
I can't remember right now, but yeah, the one down south.
Tierney.
Tierney, yes, that's right.
Oh, ask him if he knows Tierney. Maybe he knows the speaking spell.
Do you know Tierney?
He smiles a crooked smile and says, yes. Yes, I do. He's my son.
Apparently he does, Frothy, because Tierney is his son.
He's what?
He's his son.
What?
He's his son, God. He doesn't say God.
No, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Elva is still surprised.
Well, does he know the speaking spell then?
Froley here wants to know if you know a speaking spell.
Oh, I think he must be referring to some of the research my son has done into understanding other tongues. I'm sorry to say I don't. My son and I aren't even on speaking terms between the two of us. That's why he's not in. That's why he's not in CharismaToAC. He thinks it would be, well, problematic. Seeing as currently I'm, well, suffice to say, my family, we have had magic in my family for as long as anyone remembers. We've always been strong, which means that we have, for many generations, we've had at least one, sometimes more representatives up at the the Tiechnadrochte, as it's called, the House of Magic, which is the building up there surrounded by mist up on the other hill. And when two Arasari are not on talking terms, when we get angry at one another, words usually aren't the only thing that flies. So for everyone's safety, he's left the city.
All right, that's a shame. Probably would have liked to discuss this with you.
Well, I'm sure you can translate.
I can try at least.
So what does he like to know?
Baggy looks back at Froley. So unfortunately, he doesn't have that magic you asked about. Apparently, he and his son aren't on speaking terms.
Well.
So
I guess it's good they're not close then.
Yes, and the best thing would really be for me to translate whatever it is you want to ask.
Yes, of course. Are they permanent?
And we shall have his answer as soon as we return from this break, ladies and gentlemen, because we've just passed an hour. So don't go anywhere. We shall see you guys for the second hour of the Long Voyage in just a moment.
Yes.